Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Today we have a Q&A call, so I'll be answering your questions when it comes to e-commerce. Whether you're starting a business or you already have a business, you don't want to scale it, whether it's conversion rate optimization, product research, whether it's just growing your profit margins, maybe it's building a website, driving traffic. So anything that comes down to growing your e-commerce business, I'll be answering your questions here. So please just drop them in the chat so I can answer them for you. Instagram, I think we're live as well. Just drop one in the chat before we get started so I can answer the questions for you. We'll be sharing my experience in e-commerce, like last 8 years. I've done over $100 million in sales with e-commerce. Made so many mistakes, so many fuck-ups. So we'll be sharing my experiences to help you on your journeys. So just drop one in the chat if you can hear me okay, and we will get it rolling. And then drop the questions. Drop the questions so I can answer them, whether it's on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Just drop the questions below, and I will be answering them for you. Just drop one, please, in the chat if you can hear me okay, if you can see me okay. Hey, we have some ones here. Instagram, drop one in the chat. All right. Perfect. YouTube, drop one in the chat if you can hear me okay. Drop one. So make sure that everything on the technical side is set up well, and we'll get to it. All right, cool. All right, we have the first question here on Instagram. How do you create a new angle for your product? The way you create new angle for your product. So let's say you're doing the product research and you found the product that you want to sell. The way to create an angle is to, first of all, identify the competition, how they're selling their products. So you'll be able to see, what kind of angles they're using right now. So if we take, I like to use this example. There is a brand called Rise Superfoods. They have their ad game like very well dialed in. And so if we look at their ads, right? So for example, they have red flags of toxin overload in your body, like toxin overload. That's an angle for the product, right? For example, do this, another one here, do this to improve kidney health, right? So I'll share my screen here as well. I'll see if you guys are able to see it as well. I think that would be very beneficial for you, right? So I don't know if you can see my screen. For example, here is why mushrooms are a superfood you need to have. Another one here, red flags of toxin overload. So all of these are angles. And the way you find new angles is, number one, looking at your competition that's selling similar product. And number two is you can do the research on Amazon. And on Amazon, you can look at all of the reviews and specifically what are the, what people are saying about the product they bought. Like, so if someone is saying, I bought this product, I'm 63 years old, and I bought this product to deal with X, Y, and Z, and I tried all of these other products, that can literally become your new angle. You can utilize that information to craft the ad copy. You can utilize that information to craft some very good high converting scripts for your ads. And that's how you basically create new angles. So that's the easiest one too. Over time, as you're getting more reviews from your customers, you will see different customers saying about different things that your product helped them with, right? So if someone says, I'm 45 years old and I have 3 kids, and your product helped me to save a lot of time, then the saving time can become an angle for your product. Again, integrate it into your ads, integrate it into your ad scripts. So now you have another acquisition channel. You're kind of like expanding the audience that you're targeting with that new angle. So let me know if that makes sense. Just drop in the chat if that makes sense. And I can expand on that as well. I can talk about this all day long. This is something I'm very, very passionate about. Just finding new ways to advertise the same product. And you will see with the most successful products, they usually are targeting not just like one demographic. Okay, it's just people like 65 years old that want this product. They also have another targeting, right? Like another kind of like avatar maybe it's people like 45 years old that are dealing with a different product, but the product also helps them to deal with that problem. So now you kind of like building these buckets of audiences that you can target your audience with, and you pretty much can scale using that. And I have the whole spreadsheet. I have the spreadsheet. I have SOP on how to create winning angles. So if you want that, just DM me angles on Instagram. DM me angles on Instagram. I'll drop my Instagram account here. Should be on screen. Should be here. Here. This is my Instagram. Just DM me angles on Instagram. I'll send you the whole resource, whether you're on Twitter, whether you on YouTube. Just go to my Instagram, DM me angles, and I'll send you the whole resource. I'll send you some examples. I'll send you some SOPs. I'll send you tutorials. I'll send you a lot of good stuff. So this is my Instagram here. Just DM me there. All right. So we have another question here. Question from Timon Push. Timon Push. What do you use to create vsls, right? So in initial stage, in the research phase, we're using Get Hooked. This is the software we're using for the research. I'll share my screen. I'll show you again. Like literally, it has like 5 million ads from different brands, so you can like spy on all of the brands that are advertising right now with a product that you wanna sell. You can see all of their ads. You can also generate instantaneous transcripts for your ads, right? So I don't know if you can see my screen, probably very, very small and skewed. So let me see here. Yeah, so it's basically generated transcript just like in a few seconds. The tool is called Get Hooked. I'll send you the link. You can try it for yourself. It's just phenomenal. Like generates these transcripts so you can generate these scripts, and you can rewrite these scripts specifically for your product, and that will save you so much time. So if you go to Get Hooked, try it out for yourself. It will change your life. So that's in the initial process. After that, after we have the script, we're either sending that script to one of our creators, and we find creators on backstage.com. This is the best platform. It has over 700,000 actors. We have some creators that are that we have sourced from Upwork. We have some creators from Fiverr. So we're sending those creators the script, so they record the script, and they also record pieces of B-roll, and they're sending us a lot of content that we can use to put these ads together. And then our video editors are putting these ads together and editing them out. So we have the script that goes pretty much throughout all of the ad, less captions, right? Because a lot of people are just watching ads without even turning the sound on. And then they're putting pieces of B-roll in different parts of the video to make the video make sense, right? So you have the visual part, and then you have the text that matches that part. So if someone is talking about bloating, for example, then the person would hold their belly and like, would feel like very unsatisfied, very unhappy. So that would be kind of like the relative portion of the B-roll that matches with a caption on screen. And that's how you're creating ads that are resonating with the audience. People can see it, people can read it. Now they get it. Now they get the value of your product. Let me know if that covers the question for you, Tim on Push. Thank you so much. Great question here. How does this brand with mushroom coffee work? And it's also produced in China. What's your opinion in selling such products, food supplements via drop shipping? My YouTube. I mean, ideally, like you want to manufacture. I don't know where this product specifically is manufactured. Probably United States. You can find some great factories in the United States. Prices are pretty comparable to what you would spend in manufacturing those in China. And also you'd have all of the certifications in terms of the safety, third-party testing. That's also very important to have if you want to sell, for example, on Amazon. If you want to just like validate initially without spending, let's say, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 on buying the initial batch of inventory, you can use a platform called Supplyful. There's other ones as well that would allow you to pretty much just put your logo on it, put your logo on the product, start selling the product. The margins are not very high, right? So you want to use this as like initial like launch pad, but eventually you want to work with a factory directly so that you can you can pretty much source product at a lower cost, right? Like, for example, if here on the website you could buy the product for, $10, like that product would cost you like probably $2-3, because the platform Supplyful needs to make their margin as well. So it's the best to work directly with manufacturer, but they have their minimum order quantities. They would want, let's say, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, sometimes 20,000 units to be shipped. And for that, obviously you would have to invest capital into getting that specific product off the ground. So use platforms like Supplyful, private label, validate it. Once you validated it, you have some money to spend, then start working directly with factory. And by the way, I have some factories. I have, literally that's another question here. If you need those suppliers, if you need those factories, I have some good contacts. Just DM me on Instagram, Alex Fedotov, 3F at the end. This is my Instagram. Just DM me on Instagram. I'll send you some contacts. I'll see exactly, how I can help you, what kind of product you're looking for, and we'll connect you to people who can manufacture that product for you if you have some good idea. So let me know if that makes sense. All right, another one here. Hey, Alex, what are your testing scaling strategies for Facebook? Testing is pretty simple. It's either ABO, very simple. We're focusing on the creative, so testing different variations of ads and on the ad level, right? Seeing which ones resonate with people, or we're using Advantage Plus campaigns. Ideally, just keep it simple, ABO. And then when you want to scale it, you use Advantage Plus, you use cost caps, bid caps, something that you can operate with higher budgets, something that you can also fluctuate throughout the day. So let's say if you have like bad performance at the end of the day, then you would downscale your bid. And then if performance is good, then you would just scale up the budgets on the campaign so that it spends as much as possible. So that's kind of like in a nutshell our scaling strategy. There's many more. I have many resources specifically on scaling. I have some tutorials. Rio, if you can DM me on Instagram and just DM me scaling, right? I'll send you some tutorials. I'll send you some SOPs. There's different ways to scale that you can utilize once you have something that's working. I think most people, they're not testing enough, right? They're not like validating products enough in the first place, or validating creatives in the first place to see whether it's a winning creative. They're trying to scale creatives that they're not even winning. And that's usually where, people make mistakes, because they're trying to play with Advantage Plus, they're trying to play with cost caps and bid caps, where the creative in the first place and the script for the creative and the editing for the creative is not strong enough for them to scale it. And then it doesn't work, and they say cost caps or bid caps or Advantage Plus doesn't work, where in reality, just creative was not good in the first place. So you want to properly test it. You want to have good results in the testing phase, because usually at a scale, the ROAS drops, right? So let's say initially when you're testing, you might have like 3x ROAS. Then eventually, like as you start scaling it up, it would go to like 2.0, it would go to 1.7. But then at the same time, you would spend a lot more on ads, so you would make more profit overall. So that's my thought process on this. Let me know. Just DM me here. DM me scaling. I'll send you some SOPs. I'll send you some resources so you can take advantage of those and scale up your ads. Great question here. Wow, this is very good. My YouTube. What are the current trends in the beauty niche? I have the impression that there has been a stagnation with new products over the past 6 months. What do you think? I just came back from the one of the biggest like expos in beauty niche. It was in Las Vegas. I think it was called Cosmoprof. Great event. What I would recommend, if you want some ideas for new products, I would recommend you go to industry events. You would get like, I came back with probably like 20 ideas for new products that we'll be introducing. We'll not be introducing all of them at the same time, but we'll be introducing 5 new products to our beauty brands. And so that's what you need to do. Like, you need to integrate yourself and work with suppliers, connect with manufacturers, see what products other brands are manufacturing, what's currently working in the space right now. From my perspective, what's working is, just same products, same functionality. You just need to find the unique mechanism for the product. So maybe it's some unique ingredient that your product has. Maybe it's unique kind of like packaging that your product has, and you can find all of those at these industry events. And just by doing spying on your competition, I would just identify what are the, let's say, 9-figure brands in your niche that are doing very well, that are also spending a lot of money on ads, and what kind of products they have that you currently don't have, right? That's one of the ways to find products that work. You can also go to Amazon. Amazon it's more like price driven, so probably it wouldn't be the first place where I would look for ideas. But in terms of overall idea for the products, Amazon is great because it gives you the validation. If the product in your category is doing like $10, $20, $30,000 sales per month on Amazon, it means it's a validated product. People are buying that product. Now you just have to figure out how to take that product, how to make it slightly unique to appeal to your specific, target audience, right? And so we do mock-ups. We start, selling the product to validate it first. We integrate it in post-purchase upsells, emails to validate the product if our audience actually resonates with the product. Once it's validated, we move it into production and we order the first batch of the inventory. So it requires you to be constantly kind of like on your feet and monitoring the trends in your specific industry, and also monitoring what are the fastest growing brands in your industry. So if you're in beauty, what are the fastest growing brands in beauty, and what kind of products they're selling, what kind of products they're introducing, even like what public companies are introducing. That will also give you some great ideas for the products. My Beauty, let me know if that makes sense. Timon Push, we had an anti-record today, or new product with VSL, top 5 countries plus Singapore and Ireland, and CPMs $1,095. Yeah, this is crazy. I don't think I've ever seen $1,000 CPMs. I've seen a few $100 CPMs, but $1,000, yeah, it's very aggressive. And your VSL is probably quite aggressive. Usually that's a big factor. If it talks about like big like pain points, if it has a lot of skin, if it reminds people about the pain that they're having, which is obviously one of the tools that you use to sell your products, then usually that will be more expensive CPMs that you'll be seeing from Facebook, because Facebook cares about user experience. I would review your VSL and see maybe there was something edited, or also if you use some stolen content in your VSLs, Facebook can detect that, and also that can increase your CPM. So ideally, unique content sourced from your own creators, and you should lower your CPMs dramatically. Vladislakia, all right. For TikTok ads, is it better to send customers to landing page or advertorial? Landing page, I would keep it simple. Landing page, like few reasons why, like 7 reasons why, 9 reasons why. I would keep it simple. Usually on TikTok ads, the products with a lower price point are working better. So you don't need like super sophisticated marketing in order to sell those products. So I would just keep it simple, driving traffic to landing page. Or if your product page is structured well, and it has the testimonials, it has social proof, it has the comparison with other products, it has all of the benefits of the product. If you have well-structured offers, if you have good above default portion of your website, then you can even drive traffic to product page and be profitable. So with TikTok ads, I would keep it simpler. Do you work with, Newman is asking, do you work with fine jewelry, high-ticket brands, for example, diamond engagement rings? Any tips, recommendations? This is like, because this is high-ticket purchase, I'm not like, this is not my main area of expertise. I work with some of those brands in the past as our clients. Usually, you want to have like some kind of like listicles, like 5 reasons why these engagement rings are top of the shopping list, or why people are so excited about these, engagement rings. And then from there, the sales process could be, if you have someone who can pick up the phone and talk to people and identify their needs, or just to drive people directly to the website. Ideally, you'd have some kind of like pre-qualification. So, for example, what kind of ring are you looking for? What is the occasion? What is the budget, right? So kind of like a mini quiz. And after that, you would show people the options that you have on the website. But ideally, because it's a higher ticket purchase, there would be some person-to-person like interaction. So maybe you would generate a lead form, and then someone would actually call those people and identify what their needs are, and see how how your products can help them to achieve those needs. My YouTube, based on your experience, how does the feedback score affect that quality? I noticed that with feedbacks drop from 4 to 3, it became much harder to scale. Yes, when it falls below 4, like 3.5, 4, it becomes harder to scale. Facebook puts you in a different bucket of advertisers that don't deliver the best experience for users. If you need help with that, there's ways to increase the feedback score. The best way, the most sustainable way, is to provide good customer experience, fast shipping, good product quality, good customer support. So those would be the fundamental things that you just want to build your brand on. But if you need some short-term solution, I have some of those. If you DM me on Instagram, I can introduce you to some people who might be able to help you with those solutions. So just DM me on Instagram if you need help with the feedback score. But definitely that is a big factor in CPMs. That is a big factor in the auction, and that is something that's something that you can fix as well. Like in a week or two, you can have a higher feedback score. My YouTube, just DM me on Instagram. It's Alex Feratov, 3F at the end, and I'll see how I can help you. Can you make 1-week challenge video showing how you set up a meta conversion campaign to sell the product, and over the week, what you look at and optimize the campaign? It's a great idea. It's a great idea. Like, I just need to find the time for it. But idea is great. I'll save this idea. I think that's something that would help a lot of people, just to think kind of like analytically about their ads performance and not to make like emotional decisions. Because like pretty much like once you start advertising and you have some data, then all of the decisions that you make need to be based on data, right? So if you're not making decisions based on data, it will be very hard for you to scale. Like, for example, you launch some ad, and then like, oh, I like this ad so much, maybe I should keep it running for another week because I put so much time into it. And then the ad doesn't perform, and it doesn't perform day 1, doesn't perform day 2. But you think that it's like in 7 days anything will change, and most likely 99.9% chance that nothing will change. And Facebook will give you all of these like bullshit metrics. Oh, you have to run it for like 7 days and have at least 50 conversion events to see whether the product kind of like to season the pixel, right? Like, so people, Facebook says that it's garbage. Like, you don't need that. It's either works from day 1 or it doesn't. You look at the metrics, you make decisions based on metrics, you identify where the problem is, either with your ads or with your funnel, and you fix that. And by the way, I have this tremendous document that I want to share with you. If you DM me on Instagram, I have this KPI sheet that like literally outlines the whole optimization process. There's examples there on how I look at ad performance, how I optimize it based on data. There's specific KPIs. So if you DM me KPI on my Instagram, this is my Instagram here. If you DM me KPI, I'll send you that document so that you can start making decisions based on data. Because if you start making decisions based on data, then you will know exactly where you have to optimize. Maybe you have to optimize your product page. Maybe you have to optimize your website in general. Maybe you have to optimize your ads and make them better. But you will know exactly where the problem is, so you can focus all of your attention there, so you can fix it and get your ads to profitable level and then scale it up. So, all right. So Tim on Push, how much UGC make a difference? Can it do product that runs at break-even point, make it profitable? 100%. If you have a good script, this script is the most important part of the process, the script itself. Does it speak to specific pain points of the person? Is the problem you're solving big enough for a person to even care about? Like, so if you're saying, let's say, oh, sleep better at night, like let's say your ad says, or your let's say your ad says like, make your sleep better. It's like, I don't care like about my sleep better. But if you're saying like, hey, stop snoring, this product will help you stop snoring and get better recovery and feel better and avoid the arguments with your spouse, right? Like, because when you don't get enough sleep, you're usually more frustrated, you're more agitated, you're more anxious, you're more angry, right? So now you have all of these conflicts. So avoid snoring so you sleep better, so you avoid all the arguments, right? So now you're providing a much better selling point for customers to buy your product. And that's usually that's what direct response marketing is. It's identifying the specific pain points that person has in order to sell them product. A lot of people trying to sell their products as though they're like Apple or Coca-Cola. It's like the best, like I don't know, water on the planet. Like, who cares? Everyone says that. Everyone says that. But if you say like, if you have like that's just example, don't do it, don't use it as a reference. If you have like if you have like pain in your kidneys, most likely it's because you're not hydrated, or you're not getting enough magnesium or sodium, or whatever. Again, this is not an example, but you're providing a specific solution to a specific problem, and you have to be very precise in your wording on how you explain that problem in your script and in your ad copy. And in that case, if you're sending your UGC creators a good script in the first place, if you don't think like, oh, they're UGC creators, they probably know how to sell this product. They have no fucking idea. Like, most of the time, they have no idea how to sell your product because they don't know as much about your product as you do. So that's your job, to identify why people are buying that product, what problem it solves for them, right? And then identify create a script that talks about that, and then send that script to the UGC creator. They send you the content back, and you can run it, and you can turn your product from break even to profitable. You can scale it, but that all comes down to the research that you do when you even sending them the scripts. Let me know if that makes sense. Tim and Push. Are you using flexible ads? I don't know what's flexible ads. Are you using Jacob? Are you using flexible ads? Please let me know what that is. What do you think about simply creating a new product page? Or are there real methods to increase the feedback score in short time? Yes, there's ways to increase feedback score in short time. And new pages, unless they're seasoned, unless they have like already some engagement on them, unless you run ads on them previously, they don't necessarily convert better than the old seasoned page. So in most cases, it's better to increase the feedback score on the existing page and just kind of like treat that page with all of your attention than to create a new page, because then you would have to just season and restart the whole process from scratch. I'm dropshipping, I want to start Facebook ads. What should my first campaign be and how to structure it? How many campaigns should I start with? Just start with one. Start with one. Keep it simple. ABO campaign. Do like at least, minimum like $10, $20 per ad set, different target audience, and then focus on the creative side. Identify at least few angles for your product. Have several different pieces of the creative, so you see which one, at least like if you're testing, let's say 3-5 different pieces of the creative, of the visual part, then at least one of them should be like promising results, and then you can double down on that one, create more variations of that, and that's how you scale your ads. So let me know if that makes sense. DMAC. Team and Push. Can we make VSL only with stock video? Maybe if you're like in not saturated market. If you're going after like US market or like competitive markets, usually that will perform like shit. Like because people have seen so many VSLs and so many like well done VSLs that like you're competing with them with your stock video. If you're advertising your product, let's say in Germany, for example, or you're advertising some European markets or South American markets, then you can get away with stock video. But if your whole VSL is a stock video in the US market or developed markets, most likely it will not perform and it will give you some crazy CPMs. So having unique content is crucial for you to be able to scale your ads. If your business is doing, let's say, $100,000 per month, and maybe you made like, I don't know, let's say you made $20,000 profit. Like, I would just allocate at least 10-20% of that profit that you have to buy custom content, to send creators some new scripts, to work with more creators so that you have more material to work with. Maybe you have different pieces of b-roll so you can like, but your unique b-roll, it's not like stolen b-roll or b-roll taken from other competitors, which most people do. And then you have unique pieces of content that will convert very well for you. So that's what I would recommend. All right. Best EU budget, best EU market and niche with 2K budget. Best EU market and niche with 2K budget, probably like Sweden, Netherlands, Norway, those kind of countries. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. I would go like smaller countries, but with high buying power, and I would get some initial momentum there. Or if you have ways to fulfill your products with cash on delivery model, let's say Romania, Poland, what other countries? Czech Republic, you have Greece, you have some of those markets, those smaller markets that have less competition. That's what I would do. But ideally, it's like Sweden, Norway, Netherlands, Belgium, those markets that have buying power, so you can get that initial momentum. Different creatives on testing new product. You mean different hooks? I mean, ideally, totally different ones. So it's not just like one ad, but it's like totally new kind of like concepts, totally different scripts. And then for each one of those, you can have like, let's say, 2 to 3 different hooks at the beginning, right? As a bare minimum, so that you know which piece of content converts the best and also which hook converts the best. So now at least you have something you can build on, right? Like now you see, okay, so this angle, this ad, this piece of creative resonates with an audience. Let me create more variations of that, right? And maybe reshoot that same script with a different actor. So now you have something that works and you start building on it. Another one here, if you want to run a product in European markets, you need to translate your store and use different payment methods, or you can just go with credit card. You can just start with credit card and see what kind of metrics you will get. But ideally, you would translate it. So if you're selling in Germany, you would translate the product page, you would translate the website to German. You would also have PayPal, that's mandatory, like for Germany, like 50-60% of sales. You would have Klarna, so you'd have specific payment methods that are applicable to specific countries, specific country where you're selling. So if that's Germany, that's PayPal and Klarna would be the main two. If that's in Netherlands, I think it's called Ideal. That is another one that is very popular in Netherlands. If that's Sweden, I think it's Klarna. That's the biggest one. But you can just initially validate it with credit cards. There's a portion of people that have credit cards in pretty much every country. It just the ratio and percentage of those people will not be like, you'll not be able to go after 100% of the country. You will only be able to go after specific segment of that country that actually has credit cards. So your conversion rates will be lower, but you still can be profitable with that. But ideally, fully translate and adapt to a specific country that you're selling to. And by the way, like if you're on YouTube, just check some of the interviews I have with our clients. Like our clients are selling in Germany, our clients are selling in Finland, some of our clients selling in Denmark, some of our clients selling in Sweden. Like we have clients selling pretty much in every country on planet Earth. And so, yeah, if you just check out my YouTube channel, like I have interviews with these clients, I'm asking them questions, and you can identify what would be the best payment options specifically for that country that you want to go after. What average time of your vsls when you're testing new products? We're starting with pretty short ones. It's a great question. Usually it's between like 1 and 3 minutes, like even short VSL, like 1 minute, but that specifically talks to the pain point of the customer and then explains, the unique mechanism of the product and how it's different from other products that people have tried in the past, and then all of the benefits of the product and the offer that you have, right? So you can put all of that within like 60, 90 seconds, no problem. And that's what I would do. What are the best EU countries right now for you and your clients to run advertorials in terms of revenue and scalability? 10K plus days besides Germany. You can do 10K per day, like pretty much in any country. Like 10K is not a lot. Like 10K is like if you're selling a product, let's say that's like $50, then to do 10K, you need like 200 sales a day, right? And even the smallest like European countries that have millions of people of population, right? So you can do 10K a day. I mean, we have client. He's selling in Finland. He's doing, I think, 300, 500K per month, like in Finland. We have clients in Sweden, like some are doing like millions per month, selling just like in Swedish market, just having variety of different products. There's obviously the cap on how much revenue you can generate with specific product because the audience is relatively small. But France is a tremendous market. France, you can 100% do 10K a day, no problem. France is a big market. You have UK. You have it's not European Union, it's Brexit. Exited. Good for them, or maybe not as good for them, but it's still Europe, right? Like, so UK, have France. Spain is pretty good market. You can do 10K per day in Spain. Italy has big cash on delivery kind of like portion of the market, so ideally you would want to have cash on delivery there. You have Netherlands. It's a great market. People buying products in Netherlands like crazy. So Netherlands, Belgium, Norway. I mean, in any market, pretty much like in any market, you can do like 10K a day. In my experience, if you're going after a big niche, if you're just like selling some clothing, right? Like, which I hate clothing. Like, clothing is the worst niche to be in. Like, if you're selling clothing and you have a specific design that appeals to a specific demographic, then there will be a cap on how much you can sell with that specific design to that specific demographic. If you're selling like a dress, right? So now you would need to stack some other products in order to do 10K a day, some other clothing products. But that's yeah, you can do 10K a day in any country. So Tim and Puch, I think Spain is for COD. Yeah, it's for COD, but also you can do some numbers with credit cards. Again, like it won't be massive. Probably won't be like 10K a day, but I mean you can do like probably like 3-5K a day, just like with COD, just without like even COD in Spain. As long as your product is wide appeal. That's why I like health and beauty niche, because it's like so wide appeal. Almost everyone has some problems with health that we can help them to solve using our products, or people usually want to look younger, more beautiful, want to improve how they look. So those are very like good niches. My YouTube, why don't you like the closing niche? You work in it for a long time. I don't like closing niche because of the return rates. Like, usually in closing, you have, even when I'm buying closing and I'm buying from some new brand that I don't know my sizing, right? So I'm buying, let's say, medium, I'm buying large, and I'm buying XL. I'm buying 3 items. And then I try them all. And then let's say only large is good for me. So now medium and extra large, I'm sending back. So out of my order, I have 60% return rate, right? So that's why I don't like closing, because of the high return rates, because of the SKUs as well. Like every season you have to introduce new products. So you need to have someone who will constantly work on like developing new SKUs. And then you have to place an order for a SKU. And then you have to have different sizes for the products. You have extra small, small, medium, large, extra large, extra large, whatever sizes you have. So now let's say you want to put like 1,000 units of each size, and you have 6 different sizes. You have to order 6,000 units, right? So that's why I personally don't like the closing niche. I think it's a pain in the ass. I like to sell products that are universal. Let's say if there's one product and we know it sells, all we have to do to figure it out is just the marketing. And ideally consumable products. So people are not just buying product once, but people are coming back to buy the product again and again and again. If you think about the most successful brands, like in general, like those are usually consumable products. Like even Apple is a consumable product. You need this iPhone every year. Every year they're updating the iPhone. Like they're making few tweaks, little tweaks, and they're launching it again and again and again, right? And then they sell you on subscription for all of the services, and they sell you the Apple TV, and they sell you like all of these subscription services. So the less variations your product has, the less capital you would need to get it off the ground, and the less complexity that business will have. That's my personal experience. If you want to get into closing niche, be my guest, and just send me like, Alex, you told me like closing niche doesn't work. I made my $10 million in closing niche. Good luck to you. And some people are passionate. Some people are like designs and like how things look and like to be involved in that product development process. Like if that's you, like that's just go for it. Don't listen to me if you're passionate about closing. Right now I'm selling European market, but I haven't translated my store. I use Klarna only credit card, but still can see I'm getting some good results, better than USA. Let's fucking go. If you're selling in European market, just you'll have a cap, like in terms of how much you can scale without like native payment processing for each specific country. But if you're getting good results, just keep scaling until it doesn't scale. Ideally have the payment processors designed for each specific country to get the maximum conversion rates. All right, you have a lot of money, so can't afford a large inventory for closing. People definitely come back to you if they like your brands, right? Well, I mean, yeah, it's like you have to choose, right? You have to choose. Like, so if we're good at let's say in beauty niche, like why we would just create like another complexity for ourselves, right? I can buy the inventory, but there's other things besides inventory. Every season you have to, like, if you look at like Gymshark, like there's always new models, there's always new colors, there's always new designs, right? So it's a constant kind of like you're on this like rat race, right? Like rat race, like you have to constantly produce something new. And sometimes people like it, sometimes they don't. Sometimes you have like bunch of inventory for the previous collection that people don't want to buy, right? You have to get rid of it. Sometimes you have the sizing, like let's say you have extra large and you can't sell it, right? So what do you do with it? Like you just throw it away, right? Or you try to just like liquidate it. And so just a lot of different headaches that are climbing in a closing niche. And I have a lot of friends too that are like in a closing niche, and they're not they're not big fans of that niche themselves. So if you have a consumable product, if you're in a wide appeal niche, you can build an 8-figure business, you can build a 9-figure business without having too much complexity. And then you can put your products on Amazon. Imagine you have like closing product and you want to put it on Amazon. Now you have to send Amazon like 5 colors, 3 sizes. So if you have 3 sizes and you have 5 colors of your product, let's say you have like a t-shirt, now you have 15 SKUs. If you just want to buy 1,000 of those, let's say t-shirts, right? So now that comes down to not 1,000 units you have to buy 15,000 units, right? So imagine how capital intensive that is, and you don't even know whether all of those will sell. That's what I would. That's my personal experience. Again, if you're passionate about that, go after it. But in terms of making money, I like simpler ways. Alex, you have the soul of a true dropshipper. Respect, it's the best quality to make everything as simple as possible. Yeah, 100%. There's a lot to take from dropshipping, and my experience in dropshipping has been very helpful. Because like the concept of dropshipping is phenomenal because you are validating something and you're selling something that you haven't invested like hundreds of thousands of dollars into, right? You're validating the product. You can validate it very fast. You can get it from supplier, like pretty much just put your branding and logo on it. You can validate it. And only after it's been validated and it's making money, you place an order for inventory. A lot of people just like, oh, I really like this product. And I really want to I'm really passionate about this. And then they put all of their like life savings into inventory. They send it to their garage. And they're like, okay, so now I have to figure out how to actually sell these products. And oftentimes, they cannot figure out how to sell those products. And I know a lot of people that are just sitting on the inventory that they bought because they saw that, brand, right? They want to have a brand. Like you want to have products that sell. Like brand that doesn't sell anything is not a brand. It's just a fucking name and a website, right? Brand is something that sells products successfully at a profit. That's what brand is. Let me know if that makes sense. All right. All right. Can you share some paths? We have this question from Jose Pair Pack on Instagram. Can you share some path suppliers that you know for a brand store? Thanks. Just DM me suppliers. Jose, please DM me suppliers on Instagram. And yeah, anyone on this call, I have some great suppliers. Whether it's physical products like gadgets, maybe it's supplements that you want to source. There've been many people that I worked with. I will recommend you the people that I worked with for a long time that have been proven to deliver great service. So just DM me suppliers on Instagram. This is my Instagram here. DM me suppliers. I'll send you that list. I'll send you information. I'll send you some tutorials and to help you out with that. Rahman, you're amazing, sir. Thank you so much. Hey, Alex, wanted to know if you have any advice how to brief UGC creators. So achieve goods. It's a great question. How to brief UGC creator. The way you brief UGC creator is, first, you have to give them instructions, right? So instructions is, okay, shoot the video on your back camera on your phone, right? Okay, that's how you shoot it. Have good lighting of your face. So your face is you're not like somewhere like in a basement, like like dark place. You want to have good lighting, so their face is clearly visible. And then other instructions, for example, shoot these ads in the kitchen or in the bathroom, right? If you're selling beauty product, usually it's in a bathroom. People are using the product. They're like putting it on their face. They're looking in the mirror, right? They're putting the camera here. And so, and then, they might be talking about the product. So you want to instruct them kind of like as detailed as possible. And the way you do it and the way you do those instructions is just watch some of your competitors, some of your best competitors' ads, and just understand what is happening. What is happening in that video? Okay, so the person is standing in front of the mirror and talking about the product. Okay, stand in front of the mirror, right? And while you're recording this video, the person has good lighting on their face. Make sure you have good lighting on your face. Person is recording with their iPhone, right? Okay, put an iPhone. There's some people using Samsung and stuff. Those are not people that we work with. Anyways, if you have Samsung, don't even apply for UGC. Anyways, you can work with people that have Android as well. Some Androids actually have good camera, by the way. But you have to instruct them as much as possible, and then you give them the script that they have to say, right? You have to be as specific as possible, as detailed as possible. Don't leave it up to them. You have to give them a good script. A lot of people are just like, oh, they're creators. They know how to create good scripts. They know how to sell the product. They don't know. They will just say it in a nice way, but they will not talk about the specific pain points of your product. They will not be like specific enough with the wording. So you have to give them the exact script to say. And then you also have to ask them, shoot us, alongside with the script, also shoot us like 10 pieces of B-roll. Maybe you sitting like in your bedroom on a bed, right? And like reading the book. Maybe you like getting into your car, right? And pulling the product out of the bag, right? Maybe it's you in the kitchen, right? Applying the product or using the product or doing something in your kitchen. So break down the successful video of your competitors into small actionable pieces that you then send to your creators, so they send you back the content. And now you can use that content to create many variations of the video. You can plug in those pieces of B-roll, right? It's organic, it's your own, it's not stolen, right? So it won't get you into trouble. And by the way, I have some tremendous resources on UGC specifically. Again, just this is my Instagram here. DM me UGC on Instagram. I'll send you some resources. I'll send you some SOPs. I'll send you some tutorials. Like I'll send you the whole kind of overview of this, so you have like a better understanding of the process, and you can model it. Besides that, if you're using Get Hooked, it has the brief functionality into it, like literally guiding you step by step, like what things you have to specify to them, and then you can just copy the link, send them the brief, and they send you the content, right? Simple as that. So if you're using Get Hooked, I mean, this process will be simplified like 10 times. And also it will give you the script. It will literally generate high converting script that you can use right away. Like literally, that's just crazy. Like the transcript, it will generate the transcript of your competitor ad. It will recreate that script for your specific product, so you can start using that script. You can send the script. You send all the details on the brief to your UGC creators, and you're in a very good position to create some high converting ads. Nain, how many upsells, downsells do you run on Funnelish, and how much does it boost your AAV currently, and what percentage take rate is healthy? This is a great question, Nain. Usually 3 to 4 upsells, downsells, 3 upsells, 3 downsells. How much they boost your AAV currently? I mean, we're always aiming for 2x. So if front-end product we're selling for $50, we want our AAV to be $100 minimum. If we're selling product on the front end for like $70, we want our AAV to be at least $140, $150. What percentage take rate is healthy? 10% plus, ideally 20, 30%. 10% plus is healthy, right? Less than that is something is off, right? Maybe the product that you're upselling is not congruent with the one that people just bought. Maybe the offer is not good enough. Maybe you're not incentivizing or discounting enough for people to buy a second product. So I would look into those, and I would see how we can get the upsell percentages to at least the OTOs to at least 10%. Ideally 15, 20. That's the ideal place to be. Nain, let me know if that answers your question. That was a phenomenal question here. Product versus creative versus offer versus funnel optimization. How do you see each element from 100%? Okay, 100%. So product. I mean, product is probably like good, like 30, 40%. Creative is another like 30, 40%. You might have like amazing that's it. I mean, okay, I would give all of these like 25%. I would give all of these, like, just to make it fair, because all of these, all of the ones that you have outlined are very important. Because you can have a great product, but then you can have a shitty creative and it wouldn't sell, right? Or you can have a great creative, but the product, for example, doesn't have good margin structure. Like maybe you're like buying the product for $50, you're selling it for 100, and then as you scale, your profit margins go like to 5%, right? So now it doesn't make sense. Offer, yes. This is so tricky question. This is a good question. Khaled Ahmed, great question. I would say 25% each one of these. I would just give them like equal importance, because without one of these, like you like, if you have like decent product, not even the best product, but you have a good creative, and then you have a good offer, and then you optimize your funnel so you're profitable, then you can make it work and you can scale, right? So there's a lot of people, like if you go in the ad library and you would look at some of these people that are like just doing massive numbers, like spending, $100, $200, $300,000 a day on ads, and they're like, okay, this product is like nothing special, right? Like this product, I can probably source this product, put my own like logo on it, but their ads are great, their offers are great, their funnel optimization is great. So in that specific context, yeah, I would even put product like even less important. Like you would see some average products, people say, oh, product is everything. Product is important, but like if you don't know how to market that product and how to sell that product with good economics, then it doesn't matter how good the product is. Like unless you have spent 3 years like developing some like super unique product that no one else in the market has, and it just like hits the market and people want it, right? Which is, and that would cost you probably hundreds of thousands of dollars to develop. So it's a tremendous risk to do that, right? So you just want to take the product that has been proven, been validated, improve that product like 10%, 5%, improve the branding, add some extra ingredients, add some extra features, change the color of the product. But then on the marketing side, you have to just really nail it with creatives, with offers, with funnel optimization, and you can scale that product to 8 figures, no problem. Khaled Ahmed, what a great question. What a great question. What is good click rate for advertorial? 30% plus. That's what we're aiming for. From the first page to the second, 30% plus. If it's higher, great. If it's lower, but people are still buying and the conversion rate overall is profitable for you, then it's okay. I would still look into Microsoft Clarity, like recordings. I would still reverse engineer and see what other parts of the advertorial I can add. Maybe it's like testing a different headline, right? Maybe it's creating a better story to get that percentage to 30%. At the end of the day, if overall like structure converts at a profitable rate for you, even if it's less than 30%, it's still something that can be scaled. Do you go into big details for the upsells, for example, such as Nora writing another advertorial for all the upsells to be able to access the revenue? Yeah, that's what funnel optimization is, right? That's what funnel optimization is. That's what funnel optimization is. Like if you're competing with like some very sophisticated marketers, that's what you have to do. That's just like mandatory. Like you have to compete on the highest level possible. If someone who's competing with you for the same impressions, you're in auction with them, and their funnels are like dialed in and optimized and have 3 upsells, and you have like 1 upsell, and it's like, and you don't have any offers, and you're selling your product for a cheaper price, you will not be able to compete on the scale. You just have to compete at the level that your competition is operating on if you want to do well, right? If you're operating in less competitive markets like Germany, maybe you don't have to go to those extremes. But if you're selling in like big 4, big 5, where there is like literally hundreds of brands or thousands of brands advertising heavily in your niche, then you have to just level up your marketing skills. You have to use vsls, you have to use advertorials, you have to have your own custom content, you have to optimize your offers, you have to optimize your funnel in order to compete on the highest level possible. Let me know if that makes sense. Nain, what a great questions today, guys. Come on, these are whew. What do you think more of the story type of VSL? So telling a story at first and selling them. Do you prefer this over normal VSLs? I love this format. Pardo, I love this format. I absolutely love this format, like specifically stories where, like emotional stories of a customer who used the product and it's like was at the lowest point, right? And then tried different solutions and nothing worked. And then like suddenly discovered, this magical product and it changed their life and everything went, everything like suddenly improved. I love that format. That is a great format for VSLs. Even many movies are like that if you think about it, right? All of the movies are like usually the person lives like a normal life and then something happens, right? And then the person has to go on this like journey to discover, whatever, and then goes on this journey and there's like obstacles along the way and then they discover the solution, there's a happy ending, right? So that's usually how movies are structured as well. So but yeah, I love this format. I love the storytelling format. I love the format also of like integrating, someone with authority, like kind of the personality, right? So there's like, there's many of these faceless brands, like massive brands, like multi-billion-dollar brands, and they just like, here's the product, buy it, right? Because it's been in the market for like last 100 years. And so if you're competing with those people and you have someone relatable who has a story, the story that is relatable to your customers. So if you're going after younger demographic, then you would have someone who's younger, who's been through those exact challenges and talks about those challenges in a very specific emotional way. And you can find those on Amazon, you can find those on forums, like this, the whole stories. That's why the research part is so important when writing VSLs or advertorials. It's probably the most important part. And so if you're telling those stories in a compelling way, then that is a banger. Like once you figure it out, like that will be something very scalable that you can scale to, $5, $10, $20, $30, $50,000 a day. So Nain, can we get another interview with Harvey, Erin, or Wouter? Really love to watch these interviews with good questions a few times. Even though they're a few years old, or general people who run advertorials. 100%. So Harvey and Wouter will be at our Elite Mastermind event. We'll have event in Budapest, so these guys will join us. We'll have a great time together. Also, Marek, some other high-level e-commerce entrepreneurs. So we'll all hang out together. We'll all learn from each other and just have a lot of fun. So if you want to join us, I think we are pretty much like sold out for the event. DM me on Instagram so I can check if we still have any tickets left. It will be in Budapest. It will be 2nd to 4th of September this year, right before the Affiliate World event. So if you want to join us, just DM me on Instagram. That's my Instagram here, and we'll figure out if we still have tickets. But yeah, I'll definitely make some. I enjoy talking to these guys so much, like Harvey or Erin or Wouter. These guys are phenomenal. So yeah, let me see if we have any other questions here. I mean, the questions today are fucking just fire. How do you become less reliant on paid media? For example, Google, Meta, TikTok. What percentage of revenue should be spent on customer acquisition by paid channels? It's a great question from Dandras Dauskas. Great question. How to become less reliant? I mean, you become less reliant when you kind of like max it out. You're paid, right? Which probably won't be until you do like a few million a month. So first I would max out the paid. I would make the profit, and I would reinvest the profit into influencer marketing outreach, YouTube, search engine optimization, content marketing, integrating your product into different like listicles, like top 5 products for, whitening your teeth or eliminating back pain, right? So all of those listicles that are ranking high on Google. So now you'd have the organic source of traffic coming in. But I mean, initially, like to get to a few million a month, like paid is just the fastest way. Because if you want to build that organic strategy, you would have to pay, all the influencers. You'd have to pay the, if you're doing YouTube, YouTube is great. Organic traffic, like channel, like if you're paying YouTube influencers and you're gradually building that portfolio of like hundreds or even thousands of videos where your product is featured, so you're generating top of the funnel awareness and people go to the website pretty much warm and ready to buy. That will take time, that will take resources, that will take like building almost like a separate like mini team, right? Or working with someone who can facilitate that whole process for you, and that all takes capital. So I would use paid, max it out, make sure it's profitable, accumulate the capital, and then start building all of these other avenues of your business. But paid is enough to get you to a few million months. Guapardo. All right, love the answer, bro. Do you recommend for pain relief products focus on emotional rock bottom pain or physical in the story? I'll test both. Usually emotional just converts better, but that's both. That's both. Very specific questions, very good questions. Guapardo, let's connect on Instagram. Love to connect with you. That is my Instagram. And guys, if I have not answered some questions from you, like tremendous questions, like phenomenal, like next level questions, like if there was like awards for questions, like we'll give away so many fucking awards today. Phenomenal questions. Thank you so much. I appreciate you joining in and asking questions and being open-minded, and like hope you learned something from this conversation today. And if I have not answered any questions, please just DM me on Instagram. Drop me the questions. I'll answer them for you here. I'll send you some resources. I have massive like folder with like different resources, SOPs, cheat sheets, tutorials, like different things to help improve different areas of your business. So I'll send you some very cool resources there too. And yeah, just would love to connect, with some good people, and see how we can help each other out. So thank you so much for joining. Tremendous conversation. Please, if I have not answered some of the questions, I just like been so many of them and so many phenomenal questions, just drop them here on Instagram, and also any of the resources from this conversation, the KPI or creatives or UGC or vsls or team building, like any of the things that you're currently struggling with right now in your business that I can help you with. I can kind of like guide you, like maybe you avoid at least some of the mistakes that I made. I made like many mistakes. So if I can guide you in the right direction, I would love that. So DM me on Instagram. I appreciate you so much. Phenomenal questions, phenomenal. Yeah, you guys are awesome. So I appreciate you so much. And we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for joining